Something was knocking on the gates of hell. These gates had not opened in centuries. The souls of the damned entered by ferry across the sluggish river Styx. In times past, great visionaries and sorcerers might be led in through those gates, granted the boon of glimpsing the hereafter, but it had been an age since then. The gates existed so that the armies of hell could march forth on the last of all days against their divine enemy, but none knew when that day might come. So the gates were not for entry. And yet, something knocked upon them. A slow, firm pounding that would not cease. A middle-ranked demon was sent to investigate. What he found was a single mortal soul, small and thin, hurling itself against those titanic portals of bronze. And the soul was little more than a wisp of memories and self, the leavings of an ordinary man, just a shade like any other, but it shone pure and unstained in the bloody light of hell. "What do you, mortal?" cried the demon. "You crave entry to the kingdom beyond hope?" The demon gave a mocking laugh. "Then you should have sinned enough to earn your rightful place upon the Stygian ferry. Begone, and trouble no more our gate. This place is not for such as you." But the little mortal soul raised his head to the demon and spoke, saying, "My brother, who I love, is within your realm, and I mean to enter and have him out of there." And with that, the little soul flung itself against the gate again, the impact against the ancient barb-studded metal, setting a dull and somehow disagreeable note ring about the threshold of hell. Then again, and again. And that sound, so soft against the roar of flames and moans of the damned, yet made the demon's ears twitch back and set a vague unease in the pit of his belly. So the matter was referred up the ranks until it reached the ears of Lucifer himself, who came forth to seek the cause of this disturbance of the entry to his kingdom. And there he found himself looking down upon this same tiny mortal soul, just as he had been told, slamming itself over and over again into the infernal gates. And the sound of this slow pounding was like the dull throb of a cracking tooth to the king of hell, for he was absolute master of his domain, and all that occurred there should occur only by his leave. "Why trouble you my gates, wretched scrap of a mortal?" Lucifer demanded. "What want you within my kingdom?" "You have my brother," answered the shade. "Unafraid in the presence of the greatest of the fallen. Give him to me, and I will beat upon your gates no more." "Your brother is mine by right," Lucifer snapped, unaccustomed to treating thus with mere human souls, as are all the damned. Hell is their fate, now and forever. Brother or not, what is mine is mine. "Then I will break open the door and take him," said the soul, ramming itself once more into the gates, again and again, and the sound of it made the king of hell clench his fists and grind his hooves against the stone. And Lucifer would have fallen upon the little soul and rent it to tatters with claw and fang, so great was his ire, but the soul was not his to touch, being one that had been judged worthy of ascension, and yet Lucifer was crafty, and so bethought himself that if neither he nor those of his kingdom had jurisdiction over the soul of this mortal, then he would call upon those who did. There were yet secret ways and lines of communication between the kingdom of hell and the paradise on which its denizens had fallen, so a message was sent, a response received, and at length an angel, resplendent in his power and glory, stood before the gates of hell. And Lucifer and such of his greater fiends as could stand the sight looked on as the angel spoke to the little soul, which had flung and flung and flung itself against the gates. "What is this folly?" asked the angel, in a voice of music and motherhood, of sighing breezes and soft spring rains. "Come, little soul, your place is not here before the pit of the fallen." The soul paused in his incessant pounding and said, "My brother is in there, my brother who I love. I will not leave him." And the angel laid a gentle hand upon the soul and said, "Your brother was a sinner of great wickedness, and has been damned for his misdeeds." The little soul looked up at the angel and said simply, "And yet he is my brother." And shrugging off the angel's touch, he slammed himself once more against the great bronze gate. "An eternity of bliss awaits you in heaven," quoth the angel. "Would not you rather abide there?" "I love my brother," said the soul. "Without him, heaven is no heaven for me." "And you would trade eternity for this?" The little shade drew itself up, proud and full, this still a mere wisp before the might of angel or demon. "If I have eternity, then I will use it to free my brother." And then it yet again hurled itself upon that vast unyielding gate. and so the angel let the shade alone, and, facing Lucifer, offered the Prince of Darkness a very human shrug before vanishing away. Though it seemed to all those of the fallen who beheld it that the angel had departed with a twinkle in his eye that they misliked intensely, nor did they appreciate the sad yet knowing little smile upon his face. And the gates of hell rang to the sound of the soul of a mere man flinging itself heedlessly upon them, over and over, over and over. Lucifer, seeing that there was naught else to be done about the little soul that sought his brother, had new fire pits dug and breaking wheels installed in the space behind the gate, that the sounds of the regular abysses of hell might drown out the endless pounding, and keep it from his ears. And so it did, for the devices of hell are loud, and their victims doubly so. And as time passed its way into eternity, that barely heard beating of a mortal shade against those gates of bronze became a part of the regular background sound of the infernal pit, regular as the beating of a heart, unceasing, undaunted. And as ages passed, from around a mighty hinged bolt that held those gates tight against the vast unscalable wall of hell, and in time with the blows being struck upon them, dust began to fall.